Letters of Bezos. Author Steve Anderson. Principle 1. Encourage successful failures. The most important rule is that there is a relationship between risk and growth. To grow, you have to take risks. The founder of Amazon realized that if you do not take risks and do not invest in risky ideas, you will not learn to think on a large scale and will not grow. Most people and companies believe that failure should be avoided at any cost. Failure can be useful if you learn from it and apply your experience to succeed. Bezos intentionally incorporates the possibility of failure into his business model. If he tries something new and it works, great. But if he tries something new and it doesn't work, he not only analyzes mistakes, but also looks for ways to turn failure into success. As Bezos himself writes, it is incredibly difficult to encourage people to be brave. Experiments, by definition, cannot fail. But several major successes are paid for by dozens and dozens of ideas that have not worked. Companies that do not risk simply stagnate, and only innovators become leaders. People put high bars on every idea, but at the same time, they are ready for failure. The second principle is to bet on bold ideas. For example, before the launch of Amazon Prime, which was originally conceived as a free and fast delivery program, everyone said that this was a risky step, and in a sense it was. In the first year, Amazon lost millions of dollars in income due to delivery and could not confidently predict whether it would pay off. But when it reached a certain scale, Amazon significantly reduced the cost of fast delivery, and in the end, all this was repaid many times. Another idea that Amazon put on was that they allowed third-party companies to sell their things on their site. They said that this would scare off buyers, since the store would look like junk. But in the end, this not only attracted new buyers, but also significantly increased the company's profits, since it took a commission of 15% on each sale. But first, you need to test the idea on a small scale. For example, Amazon tested free delivery from orders of more than 25. The experiment was successful, and the company increased the rate, offering 2-day free delivery by subscription Amazon Prime. As the program paid off, Amazon expanded it, including all new services, and over time, the cost of subscription has increased. But it's not so rainbow. Some ideas have suffered millions of losses, and therefore, they were refused. Principle 3. Stimulate dynamic inventions and innovations. Many people think that Edison was a lone inventor who day and night did not leave his laboratory. In fact, he built a complex of laboratories where 35 people worked. Thus, he put the invention literally on the stream. Jeff Bezos did not start creating a separate research and development unit. He began to encourage invention and experimentation in all units and at all levels. This is similar to the Kaizen philosophy, which is a video on the channel. This means that every employee, whether recently joined the company or an experienced developer, you should ask yourself the following questions from day one of your work. Is there a way to calculate this task better or more effectively? What can I try to get better results? And it works for 2 reasons. First, any person can have a brilliant idea, and with a separate unit, you limit yourself only to those employees who are there. Secondly, it helps to effectively identify the most creative team members. Thirdly, you give them a sense of belonging to the company, which makes such employees work more efficiently. At the same time, if your employee of any level is experimenting and suffering from failure, encourage him to share the results and conclusions with his direct superiors, team, and colleagues. Because people are afraid of the consequences of failure. They are afraid that they will be fired, demoted, and laughed at. It is extremely important that words do not diverge with the case. If in words you are talking about the importance of innovation, but in practice, you are punishing an employee who, out of the best motivations, tried something new and failed, then he will not take the initiative anymore. The fourth principle is to be obsessed with focusing on customers. Happy customers are the main goal of Amazon. To become a leader in business, you need to be obsessed with your customers. And Amazon believes that every employee should behave like a leader, regardless of their position and role in the company. And when they feel like leaders, They work hard to win and maintain the trust of customers. Sometimes you need to predict the wishes of customers, asking yourself a question, what they really want. But still, the best way to find out for sure is to ask the customers themselves. Here are 3 pillars on which the Amazon business is built. Low prices, the best choice, fast and convenient delivery. Before creating your product or service, always ask yourself, who are our customers? What problem do they face? What is the most important advantage or benefit for customers? What do our customers really need? For example, when calling a call center, people hate to hang up on the line. Therefore, Amazon has made it so that the client simply leaves his phone number, and the operator calls you back almost immediately. At the same time, if someone does not want to talk to the operator, he can write to email or chat. But Amazon does everything to solve the problem in advance, without forcing customers to call the company many times. If the problems of customers are solved easily and quickly, then the return on goods will be lower. There will be more positive mentions of your company in social networks, and more regular customers. When customers feel that they are treated carefully and respectfully, they return and continue to buy. In some cases, Amazon puts third-party sellers before a tough choice, either by changing their attitude to customers or by losing access to its trading platform. Amazon quickly stops or blocks account sellers who receive a lot of negative feedback or refuse to solve the problem of customers, and apologize to buyers and issue gift coupons or discounts. At the same time, it has significantly simplified the return procedure so that buyers can easily return the product they do not like. Principle 5. Understand the flywheel of your business. You need to understand what key factors in your business it begins to grow on its own, gaining momentum every year. And then you need to focus on these factors. For example, Amazon's approach is as follows. Low prices increase the number of visitors, which in turn increases sales volume and attracts even more third-party sellers to the site. This allows Amazon to increase the profitability of constant costs, for example, on servers that support the site's operation, and allows it to lower prices even more. For example, the Prime program has become one of the important sources of long-term growth of the company. Amazon is constantly expanding the list of privileges for subscribers to the program. Today, they include free access to the music service, streaming video, cloud storage of photos, ebook library for Kindle, games, and much more. Every time a new seller joins the program, it expands the offer for Prime members, and the membership value increases. Thus, the unique privileges of the Prime program contribute to the growth of the customer base and sales volumes. This growth, in turn, allows the company to add more and more new privileges to Prime. That is, a self-enhancing loop is created, from which both the company and its customers benefit. To understand the main factors that grow your business, read the book by Jim Collins, From Good to Great. Principle 6. Maintain a high speed of decision-making. Many companies fall into a trap. Either they are almost paralyzed by their duration, or they make significant decisions too unthoughtfully and hastily, putting themselves at an unjustified risk. Bezos has 2 solutions. First, this is an important solution with serious consequences that cannot be changed. Second, it is a solution that can be changed or canceled. It will encourage its users to make a second type solution as soon as possible. Because even if this solution is unsuccessful, nothing critical will happen and it can easily be canceled. Bezos is sure that such a risk is worth it. Remember, the first principle is that people can freely experiment with new ideas, even when they are not sure of their success. At the same time, the sale of a company is a decision of the first type. It will have serious consequences and cannot be fixed. A dismissal is also a decision of the first type. Any company must decide for itself what will be considered decisions of the first and second type. At the same time, it is still necessary to calculate the risk and limit its potential scale. Bezos requires that employees describe the idea or solution offered to them in a 6-page report. Meetings start with all the participants sitting and silently reading these 6 pages. This approach is a slowdown for acceleration. It turns out to be extremely effective, because if you want to achieve rapid growth, you must make decisions quickly. However, the quality of decision-making, which must be thoughtful and informative, should not suffer. Therefore, Bezos intentionally slows down this process. On 6 pages, there may be a presentation of a new product, the opening of a new direction of activity, or the introduction of a new process. Such a format makes the author think deeply about his idea and put it into the form of a story. And each new idea is subject to careful and deep analysis. The author of the idea must look into the future and think about all possible consequences of its implementation, both positive and negative. If the idea does not work, the employee must think why this happened and what he missed. When presenting an idea, only those who have a direct relationship to this issue. Senior managers usually speak last, then move on to analysis, ask questions, point out the missing points, and try to predict potential problems. There is a short instruction on how to write 6-page report notes. First, write the press release so that it can be published after your idea is introduced, when you tell people about your project and its importance. Secondly, answer frequently asked questions. Think about what questions you may be asked and write answers in advance. Thirdly, describe the interaction of the user with the system. Explain how it works for customers. Fourthly, make a management of the operation. Explain how it works for the company. Principle 7. Simplify the complexity. Many people experience inconvenience when unpacking, for example, toys bought in the store. I have to take scissors or a knife and for some time mess with them. Bezos understood this and agreed with the manufacturers to use special packaging for goods sold on Amazon. The packaging should be easily removable and eco-friendly, i.e., suitable for processing. As a result, it opened up very quickly, and buyers were satisfied. Amazon has given buyers the opportunity to choose what packaging they want to receive the product in traditional or lightweight. Therefore, always ask yourself questions. What difficulties do customers face in the process of interacting with your company, and how can you simplify the interaction process? Principle 8. The 8th principle is to instill the owner's mentality. When a person owns something, he thinks differently and treats his property in a completely different way than with someone else's. For example, if you own your own apartment, you will keep it clean. But when people rent an apartment, they become absolutely sick of it. Therefore, there are so many cases when the apartment is completely screwed up after the shoot. Large companies for that and allocate to their employees part of the company's shares. When employees own shares, they will be personally interested in the long-term prosperity of the company and apply all their strength to it. And as we said earlier, Bezos wants every person in the company to be a leader, because leaders are owners. They think about the long-term consequences of their decisions and not just about quarterly revenue or short-term benefits. They act in the interests of the entire company, not only for themselves and their teams. Bezos follows the following rules to instill in employees the mentality of an owner. First, treat people as owners. Second, give employees shares of the company. Third, give employees the right to make decisions. Let me remind you that everyone can make decisions of a second type on their own, and when reporting a 6-page story, everyone feels like a leader. Fourth, encourage invention and innovation. Fifth, inspire leadership. When a new employee comes to Amazon, he is given a copy of the principles of Amazon's Principle 9. Maintain your culture. Amazon is trying to do everything so that its employees not only do everything that was said earlier, but also constantly study and improve their qualifications. To do this, the company pays 25% of the cost of training at any professional course. Amazon has also introduced a virtual contact center, which allows employees of the customer support service to work from home in many cases. These innovations allow Amazon to form a staff of people who want to work in the company and are not forced to do so. For Amazon, care is one of its key principles of leadership, because the desire to save on everything and everything stimulates ingenuity, self-sufficiency, and ingenuity. Care is directly related to its rule number 1, clients come first. This makes you spend money on what is important to your clients, not on what is important to you. Bezos does not like large teams, so Amazon follows the Bezos rule of 2 pizzas. At the meeting, there should be as many people as 2 large pizzas are enough for them. Principle 10. Set high standards. If you think that hiring professionals is too expensive, know that the amateur will cost you much more. Therefore, Amazon wants every employee to constantly raise the bar in their work and learn something new. To remain a high-class company, you must hire only the best. As a result, all the people in the team will be full of ideas and will set ambitious goals for themselves, for the implementation of which they need a team just like them. If you lower the bar at the employee's hiring, this employee, to look better, lowers the bar at least the next and so on, until the company becomes a direct one. Amazon is known for presenting its employees with the highest requirements, and thanks to the fact that they are recruited exclusively by professionals, they successfully cope with any task. To become a company of high standards, always ask yourself the following questions. Do you need to invest in creating better products? Should the process of hiring people be more rigorous, or should you increase the requirements for your suppliers? Principle 11. Measure what is important and trust your intuition. Everything is measured in Amazon. Almost every decision is made taking into account the data collected by its systems. Amazon constantly tests its site using the so-called A/B testing method to determine which color is better, which button is more convenient, where it is better to place reviews, and so on. That is, one part of the users shows one option, the other part is another, and where people interact more often with the object, they leave that option. They track all the activity of clients on their website. This data is the basis for its recommendations. For example, they also buy along with this product also buy. In the store, they developed a function, Ask the Owner. For example, on the website product, customers can ask any related to it question. Is this device compatible with my TV or PC? Is it easy to assemble? How much battery charge is enough? And so on. These questions are redirected to customers who have already bought this product. As in the case of reviews, people are happy to share information to help others. Thanks to this, much fewer people began to turn to the support service. At the same time, remember, no matter how many metrics you collect, the most important indicator is the trust of customers. This book comes to an end. Subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and leave your opinion about this book in the comments. Bye.